Hey everyone, this is your host Abhilasha Bhatia. Welcome to the tCD Digital Chat series. In this series, I will be interviewing some small business owners and creators to explore some facets of what digital means to them and how their transition to digital has been during this pandemic. For the very first episode, joining me today is Brett Fulmer, all the way from Newport Beach, California. Brett runs his own brokerage firm, Newport Beach Insurance Center. He is a VP of PNC Insurance at Maxwell Agency and is the US brand ambassador for a Canadian insurtech company, Finaeo. That's where Brett and I met. So let's jump into the chat with Brett. Okay, we are live. So welcome to the tCD Digital Chats, Brett, and thank you so much for taking out time for contributing to this chat series. So yeah, why don't we get started by share something about yourself with our audience, like about yourself, your work.
Yeah, thanks, Abhi. I'm an insurance broker out of Southern California. Actually help out a couple startups as well and advise, and I try to have one foot in the traditional insurance space, holding meetings, doing paperwork, selling policies, and then one foot in the startup world. And my theory is that's going to get me the best tools as a traditional agent, and that's going to give me a chance to have greater feedback to the startups that I'm working with. So that's how my day split up, and I really enjoy it.
Nice.
Before we hit record, we talked about working over the weekend and kind of always
Yeah,
being into stuff because we're engaged. We enjoy it.
absolutely. And I see that you have also been like a regular contributor to different podcasts and the Insurance Nerd series.
Oh yeah, Insurance Nerds is great. It's sort of a self-curating community of people in the insurance space. A little bit more on the carrier side. There's other groups like IAOA that are more
Okay.
agent-centric. But yeah, I really enjoy that community and been a part of it for a long time, and really helped me, get connected with Finaeo, where Abhi and I met, and just be prevalent in the industry. So yeah, insnerds.com for anybody in the insurance space that might be interested.
Nice. Okay. So tell me something about like how has the pandemic affected your day-to-day activities and basically working from home, and many of the activities now have to be done completely remotely. So how has that transition been for you?
It was actually pretty easy. So the brokerage that I was working at when everything went down is mainly a benefits brokerage, and I was doing the PNC. And I really just had to grab maybe 40 pieces of paper and my computer, go home, and really didn't miss a beat. Have a Ring Central set up, on my desktop, have it on my phone. So it really wasn't a problem at all. And then the startup that I'm helping out with, Finaeo at Toronto, everything went virtual. So I actually got to connect with everybody at a higher level, which was really cool. Um, we used to pick up checks once in a while, used to present, quotes in person, you print everything out, kind of a sign of respect. If, you're going to ask somebody for $10,000, you feel like you should show
Yeah.
up with, the documentation and kind of earn the business. So that's transitioned to digital, doing ACH as opposed to, checks that we pick up, put in a trust account and pay brokerages. So that would be a small change. Uh, for myself personally, I used to really think regionally. I'm in Orange County, and I'd make the argument, you got LA, San Diego, Riverside, hour to SF, 4 hours to Vegas, um, drive, but then flights too. And now I feel a lot less location based than I even did 3 months ago, which is kind of strange for
Okay.
me. I feel like that mental
Okay.
shift has happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, like, have you seen any change basically with your customers on how they are interacting or adopting to this um, digital shift?
I know that one of the startups we're helping out, Finaeo's, works with financial advisors, and a big part of that was the in-person meeting, just long hours. I know that going digital has provided a lot of efficiencies because you don't have to travel as much. Um, PNC on the personal line side was already pretty commoditized, so people were used to interacting
Okay.
just via text and quick, messaging. Um, the commercial side was split. Some people want to do it really efficiently, docu-signs, video proposals. Other people still wanted that kind of business courting. That business courting has kind of gone down a little bit. And,
Interesting.
instead of your
Okay.
traditional networking events, it's going online. And so again, I've been networking with people across the country via Zoom, where before it would have been local stuff in person. So it's kind of changed the dynamic. It's almost niched things out and spread them
Interesting.
out a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Cool. Like any new tools that you have been picking up so far?
No, it kind of just made me happy that we had everything in place before. E-pay policy is one for ACH, that we've adopted.
Interesting. Okay.
But outside of that, I mean, we always use Sign Now, which is kind of a DocuSign. Ring Central, Loom is the Google Chrome extension that lets you put a little video in the corner.
Yeah.
These were things we had in place, but we were born kind of digitally. My friend's agency is 3 years old. I just started working on my own agency again, Newport Beach Insurance Center. We've always been in the tech because those are the guys who open doors, and that's what we could do. It was the little insurtech tools to start, so nothing really changed on our end.
Okay, that's really cool. And have you thought about like any processes even in your own like digital journey that you can basically optimize further? Like we went through one of the webinars the other day about like how you can optimize certain leads that you're capturing and how you can actually reach out to them in real time. So have you thought of any such workflows in your basically, yeah, in the insurance brokerage agent side of things?
Yeah, I definitely need to take a look at Zapier. You'd brought that up to me and I hadn't. I'm used to MailChimp campaigns, and then I use
Yeah.
Squarespace, and I get inbound forms quite regularly. And then I
Okay.
use one also called Risk Review out of New York.
Okay.
That's another kind of fact finder service. But right now it's kind of unorganized. They'll hit different emails depending on when I set it up. I need to send them to one Google Drive, and I need to link that over to MailChimp and start automating some campaigns. It's funny because I'm 35, so I'm used to multiple tabs, Microsoft Excel, using spreadsheets and some paper, and then I bring it back to digital. But a lot of my systems aren't integrated. As much as like kind of digital broker use a lot of cool tools, there's still times when I have really clunky inefficiencies that I'm just used to.
Right.
So I do them, but there could be a way to have client data populate, accord forms, which are kind of the boring backbone of insurance. I don't do enough of that stuff yet. And you rang some bells talking about that last time.
Interesting. So like just having a little more segue to this and into like basically discussing a bit more about that mindset, having a completely digital mindset versus some of the activities that we actually like doing physically, manually, like taking notes and stuff, actually scribbling down on paper. And last time we spoke about like how we can, like this is something that's still manual, and how we can shift it to maybe digital. So there are many tools out there like for OCR recognitions and stuff. Most of them out there are just for scanning out text out of documents, like images of documents. But there are also, I think Microsoft's OneNote tool supports handwritings also, that you can just take an image of that and it would automatically recognize into text and put it down for you in the form of notes. But we definitely need more such tools that can do it because we enjoy writing more. That's true. Humans have been taking notes forever and we write that feel of writing basically. So yeah, that's definitely a mindset thing for us, but it's also a technology gap that can be filled. Enable people to, yes, take notes, but also have them quickly transition it out into a digital format. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
And
I'll just tear through legal pads like you're saying, and like I'll have lists and to-dos, and like this is probably only, what is this, 2 weeks old, and there's that many pages. So if there's a way to stay a little bit more organized but still have that natural feel, that would be great. I mean, and that's on top of post-it notes, keeping things going. My little shredder behind me, because I'll still, if I'm in the weeds on a policy, print the thing up so I can pull info over, there's definitely ways I could integrate data way better,
Yeah, and then also taking a segue to productivity. Like I know you have been tweeting also a few things about productivity here and there somewhere. So talk to me about how has like work from home thing been for you in terms of productivity? Like you mentioned, we are all digital age individuals, millennials, but also we are used to opening up so many tabs on the screen. And I am more curious of how you get your task checked off from your list. Basically, even when you are working on too many things
Oh
at the
yeah,
same
totally.
time.
I'll try to block activities like an hour. And then if they start overlapping too much, if my calendar looks too much like a jigsaw puzzle, I know I'm trying to do too much. And then, the startup I help is on the East Coast, so it actually gets me up kind of early to check in with them. And I can kind of
Okay,
clear the deck by, 9, 10 o'clock Eastern, or Pacific time. So sometimes I'll sneak in a run in the morning. So I might, start as early as 6:30 or 7, get a few things out of
interesting.
the way, go for a run, come back, work a little more, eat some lunch, maybe go pick up groceries, do a little more work until like 5 or 6. So the day kind of stretched out, but I feel like there's smaller chunks of like active work time, but they're more productive. I think sometimes when you're in kind of like an office factory mindset, it's like I'll get there by 8, I'll warm up, I'll be rolling by
Yeah,
10, I'll do my heavy lifting by 11:30, I'll try not to eat a heavy lunch. In the afternoon, I'll drag myself through some like sorting, activities, but nothing heavy lifting. And then I'll just kind of make myself try to work through 4:30. I don't even have a boss technically. This is just me putting myself
yeah,
on a schedule.
yeah.
I think for me right now, it's been more natural working from home. And my wife's doing PT school from home. We don't have any kids, which makes life easier. I know some people have critiqued the longer workday, but I like I've liked it so far. Yeah.
I think it's kind of flexible. You
Yeah.
and basically when you're setting up your own schedule, it's definitely more. You need those hours in between that you can take off and then get back to it. Like it definitely increases the length of the workday, but yeah, it comes with its own benefits, right?
And we're
And
fortunate too to be working on stuff we're mentally and emotionally engaged in that we care
right,
about, and I think that's so cool. And I wish that for everybody, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, this in particular was a very big like mental transition for me. Basically, since I started up my own thing, and it was like you have to make your own goals now. You don't have any tasks that are assigned that you have to do. So it's yeah, it was definitely challenging. And then the productivity aspect also. I'm more of a person that if I'm into some activity, I would need a big chunk. But what I tend to do is like plug it in, like time box it, but then the tasks are never completed in those time boxes. So it's like it's always going to extend. So I need to put those buffers in. So yeah, it's being
Yeah,
interesting.
totally. One of my tricks is try to do the high priority, heavier lifting stuff in the morning, and then more like the sorting in the afternoon. So if they're, yeah, that's how I sort of prioritize my day. Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, so getting back to your work with the within the
Hmm.
insurance industry, and like after hopefully this pandemic ends, like we soon are there are many vaccines now out there
Hmm.
in the trial phases, but we are definitely not going to get out of this pandemic phase until like even mid of next year.
Mm,
So
yeah.
once we are through that phase, what are some of the activities that you would definitely want to get back to how they were pre-pandemic times, like for example customer engagements and
Yeah. Looking forward to doing, we have something we call broker brews. It was like a hangout once a month with, sales friends. Looking forward to getting back to that. More generally, I don't think we go back to full everyone working in an office. I think a quarter of people will full time, a quarter of people stay remote, and then half the people will be 2, 3 days in the office, 2, 3 days out of the
right.
office, which I think is kind of perfect. And I see that for
Yeah,
myself. I think for the brokerage, we'll meet in person maybe Tuesdays, Thursdays, kind of go through larger sorting and then get back to just regular early check-ins. Um, I think this changes things. I think it's funny to say it'll be right in the middle. It won't fully go back and everything won't totally be different,
hybrid,
you know?
absolutely hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, even for big tech companies who have already declared full remote, I don't know how much that would be feasible, but definitely I'm talking about big enterprise, like even Twitter announced that they are completely going remote. That's actually interesting, because yes, we have all the facilities now, everything can be set up remotely, but also that human aspect, like some individuals would want to come and have that face-to-face time with different individuals. And that's why if it's like an option, that's definitely going to be the way forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best fit for me. It's like the heavy lifting bulk, like figuring out stuff. I think in person is still valuable. It's sort of like, it's funny to say it. I'll text people if it's direct communication, like we need this or we need that, but I'll still kind of annoy my friends and hop on a call if there's something we have to figure out. And I think it'll be the
Right.
same thing. You know, if there's like really good things to work through, that in person is going to be beneficial. But if it's just executing tasks, yeah, I think you can do
Yeah.
that from wherever. You know.
Remotely. Yep. Completely. So I think this gets us to the end of the chat. And thank you so much for taking out time once again to jump on this call with me.
Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to following the series and seeing how you help,
Yes,
enable small business people digitally. It's going to be important. There's a lot of little companies on the ropes right now. So I think being
for
efficient,
sure.
using technology will help them, bounce back.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Bring up small businesses to have their mindset shift to digital. Yeah.
Heck yeah. That's good stuff, Abhi, but looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for spending your time on this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and share. If you want to stay updated about digital journeys of more entrepreneurs and creators, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.